Heaven's final call for you. 2 minutes left to unlock a life-changing miracle. Archangel Michael is crying over the signs you keep ignoring. Heaven's voice thunders with urgency, and yet it is clothed in tears of mercy. This is heaven's final call, not a distant warning, not a casual whisper, but the last window before a shift that cannot be reversed. In the spirit realm, the clock is ticking. Only 2 minutes remain before the door begins to close, before the miracle prepared for your life either breaks forth or passes by unnoticed. It is not the time to hesitate, nor the hour to dismiss the pull on your soul. I, Michael, stand as both warrior and witness, and even now my heart trembles with grief. For so many have ignored the signs, the repeated dreams that wake you in the midnight hour, the interruptions that break your routine for no reason you can explain, the sudden stillness that presses against your chest like a weight. These are not coincidences. They are alarms from eternity. They are the cries of heaven, pleading with you to turn your ear, to recognize the voice of the Lord calling you back into alignment. Yet too often they are brushed aside, mistaken for nothing, when in truth they are everything. And I weep, not because you are lost, but because heaven longs for you to see that you are found. This is not a word for all, but only for the chosen, the ones who even now feel the trembling in their spirit as they hear these words. You know this message is for you, because it presses into you like fire, because it stirs an ache in the deepest chambers of your soul. But here is the condition: silence, stillness, obedience. The miracle is already moving, but unless you pause, unless you quiet the noise, unless you yield, you will not see it in full. The final call is sounding now, and heaven waits for your yes. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. The heavens are roaring, and the Spirit of the living God commands your attention in this sacred moment. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of time, carrying the scroll of your destiny, and upon it is written heaven's final call. This is not a message of delay. This is not a word for tomorrow. This is the sound of the last trumpet before the door begins to shut. 2 minutes in heaven's clock is all that remains before the divine shifting locks into place. What you choose in this moment determines the unfolding of the miracle that is already positioned at your doorstep. I, Michael, invoke the authority of the throne of God as I speak. My voice does not echo alone, but it carries the fire of heaven's decree. In this hour, every distraction fades, every doubt trembles, and every resistance is silenced, for the Eternal One is calling you into obedience. I stand armed with the sword of the Spirit, yet my eyes are wet with tears, for I have seen the weight of missed moments. I have witnessed chosen vessels walk away from their own blessing, blinded by fear, delayed by hesitation, and deceived by the noise of this world. My cry tonight is that you would not be among them. Consider the pressing weight you felt in your spirit, the restless nights, the sudden tears, the whispers of heaven stirring when no one else was around. These were not random. These were divine nudges, orchestrated deceptions, supernatural interruptions crafted to turn your gaze upward. Each sign was a call, each dream was a seed, each still moment was a window into eternity. Yet too often, the chosen mistake these movements for coincidence. Too often they ignore the gentle pull until it becomes a desperate cry. And now, the cry has reached heaven's final call. This is the last push, the last warning, the last invitation before the door closes. You must understand, heaven does not measure time as man measures it. 2 minutes in heaven may feel like days, weeks, or months on earth. But spiritually, the countdown has begun. Within this window, your earthly destiny shifts. What you bind will be bound. What you release will be released. What you confess will be sealed. And what you ignore may slip away. Feel the trembling in your soul, for it is the Spirit testifying that this word is for you. If you are hearing this, it is not by accident. The Sovereign Lord has orchestrated every moment that led you to this voice. You are not abandoned. You are not forsaken. You are not overlooked. You are the chosen one heaven is reaching for in this very second. Therefore yield. Lift your spirit into stillness. Quiet your thoughts. Surrender your will. For when you obey, heaven fights for you. When you trust, the miracle unlocks. When you silence the noise, you hear the voice that will guide you into destiny. The final call has sounded. Will you answer? Type Amen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is now surrounding you. There is a mystery swirling around you right now, and though you may not fully see it, others sense it. You've noticed the strange tension in the air, whispers behind your back, shifts in relationships, betrayals rising without reason. People who once embraced you now look at you with suspicion. They see something different in you, but they cannot explain it. They feel your rising favor, but they misinterpret it. They sense the oil of heaven increasing upon your life, but because their eyes are not open to the Spirit, they twist what they cannot understand. This is why your nights have been restless. This is why your emotions have been in turmoil. The inner chaos is not a sign of weakness, but of transition. Heaven is shaking what cannot remain, and the shaking has unsettled your soul. Do not mistake this confusion as abandonment. Do not think the storm means you are lost. The shaking is evidence that you are moving, evidence that heaven is unlocking what others tried to keep bound. The betrayal you felt was not coincidence. The sudden gossip was not accidental. The distance from people who once celebrated you is not random. These are the manifestations of a higher war. Your rising favor has disrupted their comfort. Your hidden anointing has exposed what was lurking in their hearts. Heaven is allowing you to see the truth, not so you can retaliate, but so you can understand that the shifting is divine. You not feel the pull. The strange disruptions in your daily life, the interruptions that make no sense, the isolation that has forced you inward. These are the fingerprints of God. For what feels like chaos to you is orchestration in heaven. What looks like disarray in the natural is alignment in the Spirit. Every delay, every argument, every sudden silence is part of the mystery. It is a disruption designed not to harm you, but to prepare you. So I ask you this: is this chaos mere coincidence, or is it the divine hand rearranging everything around you? Your spirit already knows the answer. The restlessness is not random. It is the Spirit's signal that your elevation is near. Heaven has set the stage, and though your enemies may whisper, they cannot stop what God has written. Though watchers may monitor, they cannot interfere with what has already been decreed. Your role in this moment is not to fight flesh and blood, but to discern the signs. Recognize that emotional unrest is not a curse, but a confirmation. The inner tension is not punishment, but preparation. When you feel everything spinning, remember, heaven is turning you upward. Stand still, chosen one, for the mystery is unfolding in your favor. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1444 is now activated. And as this mystery unfolds, beloved, I invite you to see this moment not just as a word for yourself, but as a seed for others. Every time you sow into this mission, whether through a super thanks, channel membership, or a PayPal gift in the description below. You are watering souls who are desperately waiting for heaven's call. Just as rivers carve paths through deserts, your giving carves a way for this word to reach the weary, the broken, and the forgotten. I feel the Spirit say, what you make happen for others, I will multiply back to you. This is not donation. This is divine partnership, sowing into a harvest of transformed lives. If this message burns in your spirit, then step boldly. Release your seed, unlock the flow, and watch heaven open over your life. Beloved, hear this truth with clarity. What you are facing right now is not simply people turning against you. It is not merely the sting of gossip, nor the sudden betrayals that cut into your heart. These are shadows of a deeper conflict, a spiritual war raging in the unseen realm. For when heaven marks a soul as chosen, the darkness stirs in resistance. Every storm you are walking through is evidence that you are not ordinary, that your life carries a weight in the spirit that hell itself fears. The betrayals were not random. They were provoked by the spirit of jealousy that could sense your rising crown. The gossip was not casual. It was the attempt of darkness to poison your atmosphere before your breakthrough. The sudden silence of people who once stood close to you was not natural distance, but a spiritual separation, ordained so that your ears could be tuned to heaven rather than earthly noise. Do not misinterpret these attacks as failure, for they are confirmations of your calling. Heaven has declared over you, you are chosen, you are sealed, you are marked, and it is that mark which has attracted resistance. Every chosen one in history has been tested in the furnace of conflict. Joseph faced betrayal in his own family before the palace opened. David endured spears thrown by Saul before the throne was his. Even Christ himself was misunderstood, rejected, and plotted against. What you are walking through is not new, beloved. It is the ancient path of those anointed by God. The pressure you feel is not to break you, but to prove you. The isolation you endure is not punishment, but protection. Now understand this. Heaven is watching not just the battle you are in, but your response to it. Will you curse those who oppose you, or will you remain silent? Will you retaliate in the flesh, or will you trust that the Lord Himself fights for you? Your reactions in this moment are tests of your maturity. The battle is real, but the greater question is, will you hold your peace and let God be your defender? For in your restraint lies your victory. In your silence lies your strength. And in your obedience lies your unlocking. The enemy wants to bait you into distraction, but heaven calls you into stillness. The adversary wants you to collapse under pressure, but heaven invites you to stand in faith. This moment is not about them. It is about you. It is about proving to heaven that you are ready for the weight of what is coming. You cannot rise into destiny carrying the chains of offense. You cannot walk into breakthrough while clinging to the need to vindicate yourself. Lay it down. Release it. Trust the battle to the one who has never lost a war. So do not fear the conflict. Do not misread the opposition. What you see as attacks are actually confirmations. What feels like rejection is in fact redirection. Heaven is aligning your path, and though the fire burns, it will not consume you. Though the waters rise, they will not drown you. You are walking through the storm, but you are not walking alone. Heaven surrounds you. Angels encamp around you. The Lord Himself watches every step. Stand tall, chosen one. For though the conflict rages, victory is already written in your name. Type "I am protected" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1010 is now covering you. The Spirit compels me to speak plainly to you now. The resistance around your life is not finished, and within the coming days, its noise will grow louder. Someone is plotting, someone is preparing, someone is stirring against the chosen of God. It may come as confrontation in words. It may come as pressure in finances. It may come as sudden tension in relationships, but it is rising even now. Heaven has revealed that within 72 hours, the storm will intensify. Do not be surprised, for the escalation has already been permitted as a final test, but also as a final stage before the miracle breaks forth. Listen carefully. The opposition you feel is not only earthly, it is spiritual. Whispers behind your back are not just human voices. They are echoes of darkness trying to unsettle your faith. The sudden pressure on your heart is not merely stress. It is the enemy's attempt to choke out your confidence in God's timing. But here is the mystery. The storm that rises against you is also the very proof that the door of breakthrough is opening. The adversary always strikes hardest at the edge of divine release. The moment you feel you cannot take another step is the moment you are standing on the threshold of glory. This is why the atmosphere around you feels heavy, why the people closest to you are shifting, why confusion and tension are swirling at once. These are not coincidences. They are veiled signs that your life is being marked for elevation. Someone's eyes are on you, watching, waiting, even plotting. But take heart, they cannot move outside of what heaven allows. And every scheme that rises against you is already under the surveillance of the Almighty. They may plot, but they cannot prevail. They may speak, but they cannot silence what heaven has decreed. Do not ignore the pressing weight you feel right now. Do not dismiss the sudden obstacles that seem to appear out of nowhere. They are signals. They are warnings. And they are confirmations. For even as the storm builds, the hand of God is hovering, guiding and covering you. The escalation that will come is not for your destruction. It is for your revelation. The rising pressure is not to break you, but to bring forth proof that you are unshakable. The confrontation that looms is not to silence you, but to display heaven's power when you remain still and obedient. Every ounce of resistance is an announcement. Breakthrough is near. Heaven is unlocking. A miracle is moving. Hear me now. This is not the time to panic. This is not the time to retreat. You must remain steadfast, for within 72 hours, the pressure will intensify, but so will heaven's covering. You will see what others cannot see. You will know what others cannot know. And though they conspire in darkness, you will be hidden in the light of the Most High. So when the storm rises, remember this warning. When the pressure builds, remember this promise. The action against you will escalate, but it will not overtake you. Heaven's decree stands firm. You are chosen, you are covered, and you are destined for victory. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 333 is now activated over your life. Beloved, listen with a still heart. In these next hours and days, your greatest weapon will not be your voice, nor your strength, nor your ability to defend yourself. Your greatest weapon will be your silence, your stillness, your surrender. Heaven is calling you into the secret place, for the Lord Himself has declared, "Be still, and know that I am God." When you restrain your tongue, when you withhold retaliation, when you refuse to answer back in anger, you step out of the battlefield of flesh and into the battlefield where angels fight for you. I, Michael, commander of heaven's armies, tell you this with urgency. You do not need to fight in this battle. You do not need to chase down rumors. You do not need to expose the plots. You do not need to defend your name. The Lord of hosts has already surrounded you. He has hidden you in the shadow of His wings. He has set a hedge around you that no enemy can penetrate. Your silence is not weakness. It is proof of trust. Your stillness is not passivity. It is an act of war in the spirit. For when you refuse to descend into the chaos of your enemies, you stand in the higher place where heaven moves on your behalf. Be watchful in prayer. Guard your spirit from retaliation. Do not waste energy trying to correct what heaven will correct for you. The one who sees all is exposing hearts even now. Those who whispered against you will reveal themselves without your interference. Those who plotted in secret will fall into their own snare. Your part is not to strike back, but to remain hidden under the covering of the Almighty. I see the tears you have shed, the frustration you have carried, the anger that has burned inside your chest. Release it. Lay it down. Trust that the God who fights for you will not let you be shamed. When you try to fight in your own strength, you delay the victory. But when you yield the battle to heaven, you accelerate the breakthrough. Repeat this truth until it becomes the song of your soul. I am hidden. I am shielded. I am seen. Say it until it silences the fear. Say it until it disarms the lies. Say it until your spirit rises above the storm. For you are not unprotected. You are not alone. The very angels of God encamp around those who fear him, and I, Michael, stand with sword drawn, guarding the chosen even now. Do not be distracted by what they say. Do not be provoked by what they do. The enemy's desire is to pull you into a battle you were never meant to fight. But your silence is a rebuke. Your stillness is a weapon. Your obedience is a shield. Stand in this truth, and you will see the salvation of the Lord. The miracle is already in motion. The covering is already over you. And heaven declares, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Type I am hidden in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 555 is now surrounding you with divine protection. Chosen one, the hour has come for you to see yourself not as the wounded, not as the victim, not as the one left behind, but as the one transformed by fire. You are no longer who they believe you are. You are no longer defined by the whispers of those who abandoned you, nor are you limited by the doubts that once lived in your own mind. The storms you endured did not break you. They purified you. The betrayals you faced did not destroy you. They carve out the space for greater anointing to flow. You are not the same, and heaven testifies of your transformation. Do you not see it? The fire that once threatened to consume you has instead refined you. Like gold in the furnace, your value has been revealed under pressure. Like wings stretched in the storm, your strength has been proven in resistance. You stand now taller, wiser, sharper in spirit than you ever were before. The very moments that brought you to your knees have become the foundation on which you rise. The tears you cried have watered the soil of destiny. The silence you endured has built the voice of authority within you. You have been shifted, and this shift is irreversible. No longer are you bound by victimhood. No longer do you walk in the shadows of fear. No longer do you see yourself as overlooked or abandoned. You are chosen. You are rising. You are carrying the mantle that others tried to strip away. Heaven has clothed you in garments of strength, and though the world may not yet recognize it, the spirit realm already bows in acknowledgement of what you carry. This empowerment is not about pride, nor is it about proving yourself to those who doubted you. It is about stepping fully into your divine identity. You are not who you once were because the old has passed away. You have crossed through the fire and emerged with wings. You have endured the night and now carry the authority of the morning. The storm that was designed to bear you has instead elevated you. You are the eagle rising above the winds, the vessel shining in the light, the voice crying with clarity in the midst of noise. Lift your head, chosen one. Stand with strength. Declare with boldness, I am transformed. I am rising. I am who heaven says I am. Do not shrink back into the shadows of doubt. Do not minimize the power of what God has placed upon you. You are meant to walk in authority. You are meant to stand in victory. You are meant to shift the atmosphere around you with your very presence. Yes, the world still sees fragments of your past, but heaven sees the fullness of your transformation. They may look at you and recall who you used to be, but heaven looks at you and sees the anointed one prepared for the next level. You are not limited by their perception, for your identity is not in their hands. It is sealed in the hand of God, and no voice, no plot, no enemy can strip away what heaven has declared over you. Rise. Step boldly. Walk with confidence. For you are not broken, you are empowered. You are not forsaken, you are favored. You are not forgotten, you are chosen. Type I am transformed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 888 is now unlocked over your life. Hear me clearly, beloved. The pressing trial you have been walking through was never meant to destroy you. It was designed to unlock you. Every strange disruption, every betrayal, every sleepless night has been a divine setup. Heaven orchestrated what felt like chaos because hidden inside that chaos was the key to your next level. What looked like rejection was the hand of God removing distractions. What felt like loss was actually a shifting of weight so you could rise higher. You thought you were being broken, but in truth, you were being prepared. This is your unlocking. This is your elevation. This is your miracle moment. Heaven is testifying that the time has come for you to step into what had been waiting for you all along. The very prayers you thought were forgotten have been recorded in the archives of eternity. The tears you shed in silence were not ignored. They became seeds sown in the soil of heaven. Now those seeds are sprouting. The answers are unfolding. A miracle is in motion. I, Michael, have wept over you because I have seen how close you were to giving up. I have cried because I watched you dismiss the very signs that heaven placed in your path. But those tears are not of despair. They are of compassion. For the Father's heart burns with love for you, and even when you ignored the nudges, even when you doubted the whispers, heaven did not abandon you. The urgency in my cry is this: there is still time. The door is not yet shut. 2 minutes remain in heaven's clock, and this is the moment where everything shifts if you will only say yes. This trial was not punishment, but promotion in disguise. You were being refined so that when the miracle appeared, you would be strong enough to carry it. You were being tested so that when elevation came, your heart would remain anchored. You were being shaken so that your foundation would rest only in God, and not in people, not in circumstances, not in fleeting affirmations. Heaven has declared, you are chosen, you are ready, you are appointed. Look around you. You see how the signs have intensified. Do you feel how the atmosphere around your life has shifted? These are not random events. They are confirmations. The Spirit of God is marking this as your miracle moment. The tears of heaven mark the weight of compassion, the urgency of time, and the certainty of your breakthrough. Rise, beloved. Step into the door while it remains open. Heaven awaits your yes. Type I receive in the comments if you believe this message. Blessing code 999 is now sealed over your destiny. And now, As you feel this prophetic revelation stirring in your soul, I ask you to see the greater picture. This message is not just for you. It is meant to reach countless others who are also standing on the edge of their miracle. When you sow into this mission, whether through a super thanks, a channel membership, or by planting a seed through the PayPal link in the description, you are fueling heaven's voice on earth. Just as a single lamp lights up a room, your giving lights the path for someone else lost in darkness. The Spirit is whispering even now, what you release will return as oil upon your head. This is not charity. This is covenant. This is not donation. This is divine alignment. Do not delay. Step into prophetic partnership and watch the windows of heaven open over you. Beloved, the revelation has been given, but revelation without response remains incomplete. The heavens are not only opening, they are waiting for your agreement. Every word you have heard is not just an announcement but an activation. The miracle will not simply fall upon you. It requires your yes, your obedience, your step into alignment. This is the hour where heaven calls you to rise, to move, to claim, and to declare what has already been written over your life. Hear me clearly. Your destiny cannot be unlocked by silence or hesitation. It is activated by your confession, by your declaration, by the boldness of your faith. Heaven has extended the invitation, but the doorway opens only when your spirit responds. You must lift your voice and declare, I am chosen. I am ready. I step into my miracle. For when you declare it, the spiritual realm responds. Angels move. Doors swing open. Chains break. What was delayed is released. This is why the enemy has fought your tongue. This is why he has tried to silence your prayers, weaken your declarations, and bury your voice under the weight of fear. Because he knows that when you speak in alignment with heaven, his grip on your destiny shatters. He knows that when you step into obedience, the chains of delay cannot hold you any longer. That is why this moment is critical. That is why this call is urgent. Heaven has declared the door is open, but it waits for you to walk through it. So rise now. Begin to activate your destiny through obedience. If God is nudging you to forgive, release it. If He is prompting you to step into silence, obey it. If He is pressing you to declare His word aloud, speak it boldly. For the miracle is not waiting on God. The miracle is waiting on you. Heaven's 2 minutes remain, and your agreement determines the unfolding. Do not shrink back in fear. Do not doubt the stirring you feel even now. It is the Spirit calling you higher. Say yes, and your steps will be ordered. Say yes, and your miracle will find you. Say yes, and the tears of Archangel Michael will be turned into shouts of triumph, for heaven rejoices when a chosen one fully embraces their call. Beloved, destiny is not tomorrow, it is now. You are not waiting for another sign. You are the sign. You are the fulfillment of promises spoken long ago. You are the chosen vessel marked for this very hour. What you do in this moment shifts the trajectory of your life. Stand up in faith, lift your hands in surrender, open your mouth in declaration, and walk boldly into the open door. The activation has begun. The countdown continues. 2 minutes remain in heaven's clock, and the Father says, rise, for the door is open. Step forward, for the miracle is yours. Type yes Lord in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing Code 2020 is now flowing over your life. Beloved, while you wonder, heaven is working. While you wait, exchanges are taking place in the unseen realm. Do not think that your silence has been wasted or that your tears have fallen into emptiness. Every cry, every whisper, every groan from your spirit has been caught and recorded in the courts of heaven. Even now, as you listen, a silent exchange is happening. What was stolen from you is being weighed in the scales of justice. What was withheld from you is being reordered in the archives of eternity. There are negotiations in the spirit realm on your behalf, angels moving, assignments being shifted, doors unlocking silently in the night. You have felt the restlessness, the unease in your soul, the strange stirring in your spirit that cannot be explained. This is not random. It is your spirit sensing what your mind cannot yet comprehend. Heaven is making trades. Promises that seemed delayed are being released. Opportunities that slipped from your hands are circling back into alignment. Relationships that were broken unjustly are being rewritten according to divine timing. It may look silent in the natural, but it is thunderous in the spirit. I, Michael, stand witness to these exchanges. I have seen the angels labor over your destiny, interceding at the throne, presenting the scrolls of your prayers before the Almighty. I have watched as the Father issued decrees of restoration, commanding that what was lost return sevenfold. While you sleep, heaven speaks. While you weep, heaven records. While you sit in stillness, heaven prepares the very breakthrough that will shift your life forever. This is why you have felt disconnected from the noise around you. This is why certain doors closed abruptly. It was not rejection, it was redirection. Heaven was aligning your life with divine order, removing what could not carry into your next season, and preparing what you could not yet see. The silent exchange is not punishment, it is protection. It ensures that when the restoration arrives, it is pure, untarnished, and fully yours. Do not be deceived by appearances. Though the natural seems quiet, the supernatural is alive with activity. Though people think nothing is happening, the spirit realm knows everything is shifting. What you thought was gone forever is not lost. It has only been hidden for an appointed time. What was stolen will not just return, it will return multiplied. What was delayed will not just arrive, it will arrive accelerated. This is the justice of heaven, and it is unfolding even now in silence. So wait with expectation. Stand with faith. Rest in stillness, for the transaction is already in progress. A miracle is not in negotiation, it is in motion. And soon, what was once invisible will break into the visible. Soon, what was whispered in the spirit will thunder in your life. Beloved, your hands will hold what your heart has long carried in prayer. The exchange is complete. The unlocking is here. The silence has spoken, and heaven's voice will be revealed. Type IT is done in the comments if you believe this message. Lesson code 4343 is now manifesting in your life. Beloved, listen closely. Heaven's scales are not silent, and justice is not delayed. Even now, the hand of God is tipping the balance, and what was meant to break you is being turned in your favor. What the enemy fashioned for your downfall is being reversed and woven into the tapestry of your testimony. The betrayal that pierced you, the loss that grieved you, the schemes that rose against you, none of it has been ignored. Every injustice has been recorded in heaven's court, and the decree has gone forth. No more shall the chosen be trampled without recompense. No more shall the anointed suffer loss without restoration. I, Michael, have seen the records. I have witnessed the tears you shed in silence. I have watched the hidden pain carried in your spirit, the wounds others could not see, the scars left behind by words sharper than swords. And I declare to you with authority, The time of reversal is here. The God of justice has heard your cry, and the very weapons formed against you are being turned back upon the sender. Not by your hand, not by your might, but by the decree of the Almighty. Do you not remember Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers? What was designed to strip him of destiny only propelled him into the palace. Do you not recall Daniel, thrown into the lion's den by jealous accusers? The very trap they set became their undoing, while Daniel rose unharmed. And even Christ himself, betrayed with a kiss, crucified in mockery, stood in triumph 3 days later as the conqueror of death. Beloved, you are walking in the same divine pattern. Your suffering is not without purpose. Your loss is not without recompense. Heaven is weaving what seemed like defeat into the fabric of victory. Watch carefully in the days ahead. Those who whispered against you will be silenced by the very fruit of your rising. Those who rejoiced at your stumbling will witness your restoration. The tables are turning, and they cannot stop it. For the Lord has declared, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay." And when heaven repays, it is not equal measure, it is overflow. The betrayal becomes blessing. The rejection becomes redirection. The setback becomes the very stage for your comeback. Do not allow bitterness to cloud your heart, for this reversal is not your doing, it is God's. Your task is to remain still, to remain faithful, to walk in trust as heaven performs the turning. The scales are balancing, and the weight is falling in your favor. Even as you hear these words, angels are moving, justice is unfolding, and reversal is being written into your story. So take courage. Do not weep as one abandoned. Do not tremble as one defeated. For the decree is final. You are not forgotten. You are vindicated. You are restored. The tears you sowed in sorrow are returning as a harvest of joy. The pain you carried in silence is becoming the testimony that will shake nations. The hand of God has moved, and divine reversal is now in motion. Beloved, lift your head. The justice of heaven has found you, and the reversal is sealed. Type justice in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1717 is now activated in your life. Beloved, this is heaven's final call. The clock is nearing its last moments, and the countdown is almost complete. The Spirit of the living God declares that this is not a season for hesitation but for activation. You have heard the warnings, you have felt the urgency, you have received the revelation. Now the door is before you. Only a brief window remains before it seals, and your yes must be spoken in this hour. Archangel Michael has wept because heaven's compassion runs deep for you. He has cried not as one who fears your loss, but as one who longs for your victory. His tears are the sign of heaven's urgency, the expression of how precious you are in the Father's sight. Do not take lightly the tug you feel even now. This is not ordinary. This is not coincidence. This is eternity pressing into your spirit with a final invitation. So I speak blessing over you now. May clarity flood your mind, silencing confusion and doubt. May divine protection wrap around you like armor, shielding you from every scheme of the enemy. May favor rest upon your steps so that every door you enter is ordained and every opportunity you touch multiplies. You are chosen. You are sealed. You are seen. Nothing can strip away the mark heaven has placed on you. Rise now, beloved. Step into the open door. This is your hour. This is your unlocking. This is your miracle. Do not delay, for heaven is waiting for your yes. The countdown is nearly finished, and the Father's hand is stretched toward you. Take it. Walk boldly. Claim what is already yours. A blessing is sealed. A miracle is released. The final call has been sounded. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2121 is now sealed upon your destiny. And as we close this prophetic word, beloved, I want you to know that when you support this mission, you are not just giving, you are sowing into eternity. Every super thanks, every membership, every gift through PayPal in the description below is a seed that carries light into dark places. The word declares, "He who refreshes others will himself be refreshed." This is your moment to step into covenant partnership with heaven's work. As you release, rivers of oil flow back into your own life. As you sow, the harvest multiplies in your favor. Do not hold back in this final hour. Be part of the move. Be part of the unlocking. Heaven sees your seed, and heaven rewards obedience. Step in now and watch the windows of heaven burst open over you.